What's going on, YouTube? Today is Wednesday, November 19th, 2025. And I see some of you guys are still playing trucking on legendary mode. And as y'all know, legendary mode, that's the hardest way to do trucking. You see, you got easy mode, company driver, medium mode, cash truck driver, could be an owner operator with low expenses, could be leased on, could have your own authority. That's all medium mode. Then you got hard mode, which is just leasing the truck. But then you got legendary mode, which is also leasing the truck, but you're with the Russians. The difference between hard and legendary mode is the lease drivers on hard mode, they use a 70-hour clock. Maybe at Prime Meat, Snyder, Warner, or any other company, 70-hour clock, 1 ELD. When you take it to legendary mode, that's when you at 2 and 3 and 4 log books, leasing a truck. Legendary mode, the absolute hardest way to do trucking, legendary mode. Now, easy mode is company. You could be with the Russians and still be on easy mode. 1099 company driver. Let's just say you get 65 cents a mile, all miles. You know what the deductions are. Maybe they're taking $100 a week out your check. You know, $40 occupational, maybe a little bit of escrow. But as long as you drive the truck, you can calculate what your pay is. That's all easy. Even if you running, 2 and 3 log books, that's still easy, because first you ain't got to do it. See, at least drive on legendary mode, they got to do it. They got to do it, because if they don't do it, they're going to be in a hole. Company driver, you run 70 hours, you still getting a positive check. You just got the incentive to keep going, because 65 cents a mile, okay, well, I'm at 3,500 miles, but, but if I go, a little bit, if I go 90 hours, I can do 4,200 miles, and that's 65. Okay, so it makes sense. But legendary mode, one of the hardest ways to do trucking. I seen PH today. Yep, PH. I believe you doing trucking on legendary mode. But I noticed something when you said something about your check. I think you said you gross. I think it was like 5,000, 5,500. Took home about 600. I understand dispatcher wasn't there, but when I did the math, I said, wait a minute. He signed up to do 88% split. He get 88%. The carrier take 12%. That's what he signed up for. But some kind of way, the carrier done found a way to pay him the 12%, and they keep the 88%. What kind of nonsense is that? I'm serious. I did the math. I said, wait a minute. He said he grossed about 5,500. Now, if I times that by 12%, that's $660. Hey, brother, they giving you the 12%. I don't think you have to quit the company. I think when I was at the same company, and this ain't what this video is about, but when I was at the same company, I said to myself, because I wanted to lease a truck, but they wouldn't let me. In order to do the 88-12 split, I believe you had to grow, for it to make sense. When I calculated it, I think I had to gross over $8,000 every week. If I wasn't grossing more than $8,000 per week, then the 85 or the 80%, it made more sense. In your case, I would just say, hey, look, and think about it. Tell them you want to do the 80%. Because I believe on the 80%, well, the carrier get 80%. No, my bad. Shoot, the carrier get 20%, you get 80%. I don't even think they're going to charge you for anything other than insurance. I think the trailer and all these other deductions, cargo, I think all that stuff is free. You just pay, weekly insurance. No truck, no nothing. Is that a truck note? I don't remember because it's been a minute. But you know, check on them percentages. But in this particular video, what I want to talk about is my cost of operation. Is NVIDIA reporting earnings right now? Oh no, not yet. It's 2 o'clock. My cost of operation, cash truck driver with my own authority. How much do I pay? What's my fixed cost? I figure I'll show you guys. But before I do that, I gotta do my disclaimer. This particular video, under no circumstances, is to motivate you, influence you, or encourage you to go out there and get no cash truck, get no authority, or do anything that I'm talking about in this video other than what I told Party Hard to look into, okay? Now that we got that out the way, let's start with my insurance. I go through Geico. Geico charged me about $1,306 a month. If I break that down into weekly payments, that's about $327 a week that I pay for insurance. So for all you guys that's leased on to different carriers out there, if they charge you, for example, look at your settlement, they charge you $300 a week for insurance, $325, $350, $400. Understand, you're already paying for your authority. You're already paying for the authority. So you don't have to guess, if I get my own authority, man, can I make it? First of all, you're already paying for the authority. The only difference is it just ain't your name on the door. That's it. Your name ain't on the door. It ain't your equipment. That's all. But you paying for the authority. It's right there in your settlement. Now that we got that part out the way, I paid $327 a week. It actually went up. I needed to go down, but it went up. Now, if I want to pull a drive-in, now y'all know I don't buy any more trailers anymore because trucking on the authority side have changed to, well, we no longer, in my opinion, have to buy trailers. We just got better ways of getting trailers. So I got options. I can do drive-in, flatbed, or reefer. This month I can be pulling drive-in. Next month I can pull a reefer in December, and in January I can be doing flatbed. I have options to do that now under my authority. Okay, so let me start with drive-in. The nearest drive-in trailer I can go pick up tomorrow is right here in Memphis, Tennessee, from Fleet Equipment. It's about $800 a week. No, my bad, $800 a month, which is $200 a week. Brand new 2025 drive-in trailer. Okay? From Fleet Equipment. If I want to pick up a flatbed trailer, I believe the nearest one was down in Alabama. I'll put it up on the screen so you guys can see what I'm looking at. Well, I'm not looking at, but you guys can see where my numbers come from. I believe the nearest flatbed trailer was from Snyder, down somewhere near Alabama area. But anyways, it's about $300 a week. That's $1,200 a month, somewhere around about $1,200 a month for 30 days, which breaks down to about $300 a week. And then a reefer trailer, I forgot what a reefer trailer was at, but wherever it's at, it was Covenant Transport. Day reefers is also $300 a week, about $1,200 a month. And I can use any one of these trailers, drive-in, reefer, or flatbed trailer. I can use them 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, 6 months, a whole entire year, 5 days, 4 days, 1 day. They charge day by day. It's daily price. It's the same price, but they only charge X amount of dollars per day, and you just pick how many days you need to use the trailer, okay? And they got plenty of trailers all over the United States. So let me just use drive-in trailer for easy math, $200 a week. So my insurance is $327 a week, and when you add the drive-in of $200 in, that brings my fixed cost to $527 per week. Only thing I pay out of that, other than those two fees, I get a factoring 3%, and I pay fuel. So let me break down some numbers for you. Let's say I got to drive in. I gross $7,500 for the week. So I do 7,500 times 0.03. That's factoring. That's $225 I get a factoring, and that way I can get paid out to every load. Now I understand, hey Andrew, shouldn't be doing factoring. You should be a millionaire. You should have a bunch of cash in the bank account. Totally understand that. I've been doing this 6 years, so I like my factoring company. I've been with them a long time, and ain't had no issues. So $7,500 minus $225. That's $7,275. Then we do my fixed costs, which was $527. Let me show you the math. Boom, there we go. 7,500 is the gross, 225 is for factoring, that's at 3%, and then my fixed cost, $527. We left, after all expenses, we are left with $6,748. And there's only one more thing we got to pay for, and that's fuel. So the question is, on $7,500, 7,500 gross, how much fuel am I gonna spend? Now I understand fuel right now busted you guys upside the head, $4, $5, $6, $12 a gallon. Totally understand. Me personally, my fuel right here by my truck is $2.85 at the Speedway using mud flap, but everybody ain't got their own fuel card. But on average, I can get fuel for about, across the whole United States except California, I can get fuel for $3.50 using mud flap, which anybody can use mud flap. I don't know why y'all ain't got your own fuel cards, but when you get this authority, you damn right you're gonna have your fuel. Either you're gonna have your own fuel card, or you're gonna be paying whatever that pump price say off your debit card, fool. Let's just say we had $6,748. Let's just say I used $2,000 in diesel with the drive-in. That means after the fuel is spent, I'm left with $4,748. And that's if I use $2,000 in diesel on 7,500 gross. That's paying for everything. That's factoring, that's the brand new trailer, that's insurance, and that's the fuel bill. And that's only 7,500 gross. That's what drive-in. If it was a flatbed trailer, cost me an extra $100. Maybe the gross would go up a little bit more. If it was a reefer, gotta pay a little bit more for reefer fuel. Higher rates though. Let's just say I grossed, for all you guys that want to run 2-3 logbooks, maybe you got the reefer. I'm out running like my favorite lease driver, because every week, no matter what's going on, he could be power only, he could be no trailer at all, he could just be bobtailing. He gonna gross $10,000 a week. So let me do $10,000 a week. 3% for factoring is $300. My fixed cost is $527, but then we're gonna add an extra $100 for the reefer. We ain't gonna do drive-in, we'll do reefer. So it'll be $627. So $10,000 minus a $300 for factoring, minus $627. That's $9,073. That's paying for the factoring, the reefer trailer, and the insurance. We only have to cover fuel. Let's say the fuel is $2,500. That's $6,573. So when you guys are watching YouTube and you laughing real hard at Andrew, hey, Andrew, it's all your fault that they not making it. They not making, because you told them to get that damn old truck with the 12.7 that ain't ever broke down since, that's your fault, Andrew. They ain't making no money. They spending too much in breakdowns, Andrew, because you told them to get that old raggedy truck. That's your fault, Andrew. And after you get done doing all that, you wake up one day and they shopping, buying a reefer. They paying cash for a reefer, and we ain't Hello? I ain't heard nothing we ain't heard nothing. They don't have nothing more to say. So when you guys are wondering where all the money comes from, that's why I just run, guys, calculator. Basic math. You just basic math. This is basic math. It's extremely easy for a cash truck driver to win if the truck ain't breaking down. But even if the truck is breaking down, there's so much money because you ain't dishing out all this money on old Miss Charlie, all this goddamn money no more. You got plenty of money for some repairs. So I'm just saying, disclaimer, not trying to get no cash truck, get no authority, and do any of the stuff I'm talking about in this video. I was talking about my fixed costs, even though I'm not even doing what it is. I just told you I'm doing it. I'm doing the authority, and technically I can get any of them trailers whenever I feel like it. Yeah. But am I doing it? Look here, man. Andrew ain't even drove no truck this year. Did I drive a truck this year? I did drive a truck this year, didn't I? Damn, I sure did. But look here. It's not about what I'm doing. It's not about what I'm doing. I don't go home. I hate the house. Life with Joshua Langito. I just thought I'd come on here and, like I said, go over my expenses. My expenses are not going to be our expenses because at the end of the day, if you did decide to get an authority, you have to go out there and get an insurance quote. And guys, I don't know what your insurance quote is going to be. I try to keep mine as low as possible. And $1,300 to me, that's extremely expensive. Well, my bad, that's the wrong word. That's extremely high, okay? Because at one point in time, I was only paying $700 a month. I'm all the way up to $1,300. And a lot of them insurance agents, according to them, the reason why it's $1,300 because, well, Andrew, you got a level 1 inspection, and even though you passed, you didn't have, the proper DOT lettering on your door. Therefore, we need to soak some more money out of you. I said, what? What is the damn DOT on the door? I said, okay, so I hear black lettering on a black truck. What does that got to do with the insurance? Well, it's just a way for us to rip you off a little bit more. Whatever, man. Whatever. So, there you have it. So, yeah, like I said, if I guess the good thing about having authority is the ability to swap trailers. If I really wanted to go out here and push it, like I said, I can one month I can run drive-in, the next month I can be doing flatbed, the next month I can be doing reefer, next month I can be doing power only, the next month I can be doing Amazon, the next month I can be doing JB Hunt, hauling their trailers. I got so many options with this authority, but just because all these options are available don't mean we out here taking it. It's available, but the thing about trucking is they have figured out how to drain truck drivers of their golden years. They take all the golden years from you in the beginning. They suck you into these lease purchase programs. They got you paying all, they just got you out there running 90 hours, 120 hours. And by the time you figure out what's going on, man, 5-10 years that went by. And by the time you figure out, man, I could be doing all this on my own. And man, I could be just paying this little bit a month. By the time you figure out you can lower your costs down the hill, man, you be so burned out from trucking, it don't even matter no more. Mr. Charlie already got all the years from you. He got you in your prime. You like a prime Mike Tyson. By the time you figure out Don King taking all the money, man, you damn near in your 40s. You in your 40s. Yeah, Don King was the one, he was collecting all the money when you were fighting, you remember you were knocking out everybody, first round knockout, you said you had made $500,000. When you did, it just went to Don King. He made $500,000. By the time you figured it out, it was prime, you was at your prime. You found out, at the end of your career. And now you back broke again. That's crazy. That's crazy. So don't be getting Don King. A lot of y'all getting Don King right now. You getting Don King. I feel like PH is working for Don King almost, man. The way they come on, PH now. We got to do better now. We got to do better now. Got to do better. I need everybody doing better. Shoot, man, we got to do something, man. I understand the rates ain't where it is. Some of y'all gonna ask me, what about an ELD? Majority of y'all will have to pay for an ELD service, but an ELD is only about $300 for the whole year. Me personally, right now, I don't pay for an ELD. I did in the beginning because I had to get an ELD to hook up the highway and all this. They got some of these scams running on this authority thing. I had to go out, buy me a little ELD, hook it up for highway, and once highway approved me, I canceled that damn payment. You think I'm gonna keep paying them fools? Hell no. I heard one of y'all talking about paying keep trucking. One of y'all signed up for one of them contracts? Yeah, I did too. Yeah, they got me for the contract too. You know what happened when I was done using it? I ain't paying them $1 at all past the contract. I used it for 1 year. And first of all, they got me for a 3-year contract. I didn't even know it. I just wanted 1 year service, but they had signed me up for 3 years. I paid them $300 for the first year, and then the second year they gave me the bill, and I didn't pay a cent. And guess what? Nothing happened. Nothing happened. Now, if I ever want to go back to keep trucking, because I tried to go back before, they're gonna want their money. They're gonna want their money for the last contract. Once I pay them the money, then they'll cut me a new contract. But the problem is, at this point, there's so many ELD providers. It's no point for me to go back keep trucking ever again. It's pointless. It's thousands of ELDs. So for the guy, one of y'all talking about y'all paying $400 a month to keep trucking, man. If you don't cut that off today, so what do y'all need to call that guy? Tell him, I think just do it. You need to cut that off today. Yeah, you need to stop paying that immediately. I don't know what in the world, why in the world, how they such you into paying that. Tell Mr. Charlie you are done with his ELD services. Cut all that shoe shine off. Hell no. Man, y'all got to quit getting scammed out here in this trucking world, boy. Y'all got to quit the scamming. Yeah, quit the scamming. But yeah, I just thought I'd throw my expenses out there. And to be honest, even though my insurance is $327 a week, guys, I done found a way to make my insurance $0. So technically, I don't even pay insurance. I pay insurance. I still, what you see on the screen, the $1,300 a month, I still send them cash. But I done got a business outside of trucking to where that business pays for the insurance, and I don't actually have to drive a truck to get the Geico money. So really, I just pay for whatever trailer I want to rent, and that's it. So if I gross $7,500, I just pay 3%, factor in $200 a week for the freaking drive-in trailer, and the rest I get to keep. So the lower your expenses, the easier this trucking game can be. But like I said, by the time people realize they can lower their expenses, these suit and tie guys and got all the life out of you. But we'll see in 2026, man. Maybe they delayed Grand Theft Auto for about another year, so maybe I'll go out there in January and crank it up a little bit. I'll get out there and maybe I get out there and rag up a whole lot of money. I need to run for a whole year. Run for a year so I can buy a whole house cash, you know what I'm talking about? But yeah, that's all I wanted in this video, man. It's almost 3 o'clock. Well, time for me to head downtown. I know I'm downtown at 3 o'clock. Downtown Nashville, could be working a job. Never know about Andrew, but y'all, I'm gone.